What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Quote that from a poem by Rudyard Kipling that I actually heard of from another YouTuber, Entrance Stone. Shout out him. Great videos in the niche here. But I'm not going to read the whole poem. It's actually a quote from it that really resonated for me. I'm not going to read the exact quote. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. But walk amongst kings, but don't lose common touch. I'll pop it up on the screen here for you just so you can see the real thing. But recently I have been having this internal conflict within myself. And this has been going on for practically my whole life, and I'm more been thinking about it and wondering about it. And this quote really opened my eyes to it, as well as the poem itself. I always have had this internal, you guys heard me talk about this on the channel before. Always had this internal, I'm like a big I'm like a pretty social person. I have a lot of friends and family. I love making new friends and connections with people and stuff like that. But I'm also very driven, and I am really into like personal health, fitness, being the best version of myself, making money. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it because offend people or hurt people's feelings, but I want to make as much money as I can. I think a lot of people want to do that, but it's such a bad thing. People don't want to talk about it these days for whatever reason, because you might hurt someone's feelings because they don't make as much money as you. And I agree. I agree with that. That's why this quote really, really spoke to me, as well as this poem as well. Again, shout out Entrance. I would never have known about it without that. But I have been thinking similar thoughts, and I may not have the whole grip of the poem itself, but the idea that I think I want to speak on today is don't limit yourself. Wherever you do in life, you're gonna have struggles, whether it be other people judging you or being jealous or getting in your ear, or an internal conflict of what if I do this or that and lose all my friends because they think I'm better than them, or whatever the case may be. And that's just, the more I think about it, the more I wanna come up with all these ideas, all these theories, all these outside factors that at the end of the day just don't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think two things, which this quote it perfectly is true. And I think if you can live by this and follow it, you're gonna live a pretty good life. Be able to walk amongst kings, and I take that as be able to be the best version of yourself and elevate yourself up to others who have done the same thing. Whether your best self is, since I like, people like to monetary, use money as a gauge to see where you are in life, which is not true at all. But money's big. Making money can also help you help others. So we'll just use this as an example. Whether your best is making $1 million a year, your best is making $100,000 a year, you can't compare yourself to other people. You got to know what you will make you happy, what your level is. But at the same time, being able to appreciate and value others that may not be at your level, but maybe their level is lower than yours, but that's where they're happy with. That's what they're capable of. God blessed us all with different abilities and different ways of life. It's all unique and different. For me, like, I genuinely know that I would not. I'm sorry about my allergies, my nasally voice. I got hit with like a pollen cloud yesterday, and it really messed me up. I had to take Claritin, but like for me, I know that I need to be at a certain level to be like satisfied with myself, and it's not being happy with my current moment, because I try to be happy wherever I am in life, but knowing that you have the ability to push yourself further uh, is something that really, the more you don't do it, the more like empty and contempt you feel for life, I would say. And I think that's kind of, I think that's how I feel right now in a sense, is like knowing that I have so much more I can do. But if I do it, there's going to be consequences, not in a bad way, but knowing that you won't be as close to certain friends or family, or people will judge you not for the sake of you're doing something wrong, but judging themselves, which I talked about in the previous video as well. And that scares me. That really does. But I think being able to get over that, realizing that it really truthfully does not matter. Like, who cares what other people think, what other people consider of you? And I'm telling you, if you have like really good friends and family, you'll elevate them as well. You may inspire someone. And that's the best thing you can do to help someone, is be that inspiration to someone else. And I've seen it in my own life where someone's went off the beaten path, maybe I don't talk to them as much anymore, but they did something great, whether it be their health and fitness, financially, whatever. And like, yeah, I don't talk to that person because they don't necessarily have time to be doing different things, but their actions and what they've shown, super inspirational. And I'm not even thinking of anyone specific. I'm just thinking of people I've encountered in my life that like I've been hung out with, or just were acquaintances with, and they just did their thing. That's what I kind of want to call the action for everyone in this video, is do your thing. Do what you know is going to be best for you, whatever that is. And kind of the go back to the end of the quote, don't lose touch with the common people, is don't be that person that does stuff just for the sake of being better than others. Do it to be better than yourself than you were the day before. I think that's what life really is all about. I think a righteous, selfish righteousness is a good way to live. It's how I think about it, is treat others the way you want to be treated. Don't try to make people feel bad. Don't be a jerk, pretty much. In simple terms, don't be a jerk. You happen to push yourself hard and make a lot of money, or do well with your fitness or that, like, be happy for yourself. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, but don't try to hurt other people's feelings. Don't try to make people feel bad, or like you're all high and mighty, because you're not. We're all on the same level. It's just putting yourself at a level that you're basically just competing. You're not competing with it. And I think once we start trying to compete with others, you just become a jerk. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know those type of people. Don't be that person, but don't limit yourself for the sake of thinking you're going to be perceived as a jerk, because no matter what you do, you're going to be perceived a certain way. You don't hold yourself to a certain level, people are going to think you're a bum, a loser, whatever. If you do hold yourself to a certain level, people are going to say, oh, he's just arrogant, he's a jerk, he's thinking he's better than everyone. No matter what you do, you're going to be judged. I think that quote kind of gives it the best balance, is be able to walk amongst kings, which you should do, but don't lose touch with the common person. And I think that just puts it perfectly for the way I feel and the way I think forward with living my life. And that's by no means, like, I've done a lot of accomplishments in my life. I'm very proud of myself so far, but there's still a lot more. Like, I think because I've done so much already, and this is, like I said, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to act like Iron Mike. There's people that are way better than me. There's people that I'm, way better than. I've done more work than. There's people that have done way more work than me. So, like I said, it's always a balance. You're not competing with anyone. You're not competing. I mean, you can look at it objectively and be like, hey, I've done better than this person in this sense. Like, yeah, that's true. Objective and subject. Like, you can, like, that's true. But that's just life. You're gonna subconsciously see it, but don't make that the foothold. Make it. Find your balance. Find who you're gonna be competing with. Yourself. That's the whole point of this video. Treat yourself with the highest respect and do what's best for you, but also remember, treat others with respect, even if that's, doing what's best for yourself and not, just don't be a jerk. Because you're not fulfilling any. Holy crap, that was kind of scary. With the fog, I was like, oh my god. But whatever. Hopefully you guys got the point of this message of this video. I know it's kind of all over the place for a second, but it is what it is. So that's it. I think I'm going to end it at that. God bless you guys, and join Discord. Have a good one.